Hello and welcome back to number 2 of building our downward dog practice or Adho Mukha Svanasana practice. Thank you for being here. Downward dog is a complex pose. There are lots and lots of different elements to the pose. This session, I'm going to break it down just a little further for you to give you elements to focus on, which will ultimately build your practice to downward dog. Any pose where our head is below our heart, as in this shape, as in forward folds, it has a great capacity to relieve stress and tension, and as well as its many other physical attributes. So, as you would know by now, I love to begin a practice with bringing your awareness to your breath. So I invite you to make yourself comfortable for the next few moments where I just guide you through a very simple breath awareness practice. I'm choosing to take a seated position up on a block so that my hips are slightly elevated. If you're more comfortable to, please lay down. I have a blanket roll here which might help to support your neck if you choose to do the same. Take a few moments, get yourself comfortable, and I will meet you back here. When you arrive, if you're comfortable to allow your eyelids to gently soften and close, or your gaze just to be very soft. For the next few moments, bring the awareness of your breath internally. And just take a few moments to notice what areas of your body you can feel the breath affect. Are you aware of the lower part of your torso moving? So the space around stomach, bladder, intestines. So the space in your ribs, your lungs, heart. Or is it even possibly that you notice the movement higher in your chest? Allow this noticing to be a non-judgmental practice. So you're just observing for yourself where your breath moves. Wherever you've chosen to participate in this practice this morning, or this afternoon, whatever time it is there for you. On your next inhale, have a feeling of expanding the lower belly region comfortably. And then with an exhale, see, sense or feel the internal organs of your belly drawing back towards the spine. You may feel this as subtle engagement. Breathe in. Let the belly expand again comfortably. And then as you breathe out, have a feeling of drawing the navel and all the internal organs of the stomach back towards the spine. Engage the core slightly. Breathe in. Breathe out. Create engagement. Breathe in. Create softness and openness. Breathe out. Have a feeling of creating some sort of engagement here. And then take 3 more rounds of this breath. Keeping your awareness on the inhale as a softening component, the exhale as a slightly engaging element. Let go of any control of that breath. Take a moment before we move into the movement part of our practice to set an intention for yourself. An intention being some sort of physical focus or some sort of mental focus while you're on the mat today. Can also be a focus that you might like to take away with you off the mat today. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Let out an audible sigh or exhale from your mouth, letting any tension melt away. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out. Gently open your eyes. If you opted to take a supine or laying down position today, gently support yourself back up. We're going to meet on hands and knees, but before we do that, just one last prompt for you to grab any props that we will likely use throughout the practice. So a yoga block or a hard-covered book. Also a towel in a roll or a wrap that can just stay down the end of your mat, block up the top of your mat. Actually, if you have 2, place one at the top of your mat, one at the base of your mat. And then come to your hands and knees. The first element or component we're working on for downward dog today is the use and support of our abs in this pose. So bring the balls of your feet just in front of the roll of your blanket. Take your hands slightly in front of the shoulder line and take the fingers nice and wide. So you want to plug the hands in by pressing the pads of the fingers in, by pressing the inner knuckles down into the ground. And then we're gently going to draw the shoulders back and then just take a natural in-breath. Breathe out. Breathe in. Let all your internal organs soften. You may even feel like the small of your back becoming a little bit more relaxed. And then as you breathe out, have a feeling of drawing your navel and all the internal organs of the belly up slightly. Breathe in. You're going to let yourself soften and relax. That might feel like the spine slightly concaving. And then as you exhale, again, feel like all the internal organs of the belly are lifting back towards the ceiling. Breathe in, relax, let the spine move naturally as it does. Breathe out, lift and draw the organs back up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to start adding some slight movement. So next time you breathe in, the belly relaxes, the lower spine relaxes, and shift the body weight forward into the arms. And then as you breathe out, simultaneously, you're going to draw all the internal organs up towards the spine and slightly shift the weight back into the balls of the feet. Breathe in, belly relaxes. Breathe out, shift the weight back as you engage your core. Again, feel as though you're lifting the internal organs. Breathe in. Belly is relaxed, spine is slightly concave. Breathe out, shift the weight back, lift the organs and shift the weight towards the heels. Breathe in, belly relaxes, body weight shifts forward. This time as you engage the core, press into the hands and you're slightly going to lift the knees while you're still lifting all the internal organs. Feel the support of the core and then bring the knees back down to the ground. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lift the navel back, shift the weight back, press into the balls of the feet. Keep engaging through the core. Inhale, weight shifts forward. Move through with me about 5 or 6 times. If at any stage this is becoming fatiguing for you, then take a child's pose, take a few moments out for yourself. And then if we're still moving, feel free to join back in with us. Core is engaged. Sit bones lift. Breathe in. Body weight shifts forward over the arms and the wrists. Breathe out, ab is engaged. Lift through that engagement. Work with me for 4 more. Breathe in. Body weight shifts forward. Breathe out, core nice and engaged. Slow movement, pressing up and away from the ground. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Hopefully the work or the focus on your core is taking your attention away from the shoulders. Last one. And then gently lower your knees. Lower your forearms to the ground. And then walk the knees back slightly, just a couple of inches or so. Shift your body weight back. Allow your forehead to rest to or towards the floor. Anahatasana or heart pose. So feel maybe the open presence of the heart here. Much as you can. Allow your shoulders to relax. Allow your mind to relax. And take 3 breaths here. Press down firmly into your finger pads, into the knuckles. Lift the shoulders away from the mat. And then slowly lower the thighs, the hips, and the navel towards the ground. Grip the fingertips to the ground and draw the shoulders back. Reach the crown of the head up and slightly forward. And then let yourself rest all the way to the ground, head resting to one side. If you need to move the hips, make any movement to your hips. Take 3 breaths here. come to rest back on your forearms so that your elbows are shoulder distance apart. Interlace your fingers and press the backs of the hands into the mat. And then slowly push back up to your knees so that your knees are positioned just below your hip points. So we've kind of got this right angle shape in the hips. All right, we're moving into some shoulder preparation work now for downward facing dog. And we're going to move through that with our breath. So as you breathe, you're going to exhale when you come forward. So take a breath out. The shoulders move just beyond or in front of the elbow crease. And then as you inhale, you're slowly going to push the weight of your body back, coming as deep as is comfortable for you. So as you exhale, the body weight shifts forward. As you inhale, body weight shifts back. So this is variation number 1. We're going to move through these a few times, but variation number 2 will amp it up a little bit. So if you are prone to shoulder injuries, this will be your station. This will be where you will stay. Just moving with your breath, moving through whatever mobility or range of motion that you have to work with in your shoulders. Using your breath to support that practice. If you're traveling a little further with me on this journey today, then as your weight shifts back, keep pressing into the forearms, press into the balls of the feet, and press your heels down towards that blanket roll. So it's quite a strong pose in the shoulder. Remember that you have that option 1 to come back to. So each time you exhale here, body weight shifts forward. As you inhale, body weight shifts back. Exhale, shift the weight forward. Inhale, shift the weight back. Whichever variation you've taken to move through, let's move through 5 more together. Slow and steady wins the race here. Last one. Finish on an exhale. Lower the knees to the ground if you took the second variation. Bring your big toes together and take your knees wide apart. Settle the hips back to or towards your heels and come to rest in your variation of child's pose. Take up to 4 or 5 slow, conscious cycles of breath here. Take one more cycle of breath. And at the end of your next exhale, slowly start to move your way back up to your hands and knees. Reposition your knees below your hips, your hands slightly in front of the shoulder line. We're just going to move our hands to create some range of motion or some awareness on how the hand position can change your focus on your shoulders. So this can really help the shoulder function once we're actually in the full form of downward facing dog. So just be aware, first of all, start with your index fingers pointing forward. So the index finger is parallel to the long edge of your mat. Fingers are nice and broad here. Notice the position here of your shoulders. So for me, it really helps me turn my attention inwards if I close my eyes down. And then I want you to, with your awareness on your shoulders here, turn your hands slightly outwards. And the shoulders will generally follow. So you might notice now how that changed the shape of the shoulders. Now slightly turn the hands inward and the shoulders again should follow here. Keep moving the hands slowly by dialing them out. Stop and consider or be aware of the shape of the shoulders and then dialing the hands in. One more each time, dialing the hands out, finding what might feel more comfortable for you in the shoulders with the hand positioning. And then come all the way back. Take a little rest. You're going to take a block here. We're moving into the knee positioning now for downward facing dog. So we're going to use the block tucked into the mid-thigh region, which when we arrive there, it's going to create or give us some awareness of slight internal rotation in our legs. So once you've placed the block in the mid-thigh region, tuck your toes under so that your feet are just in front of your blanket roll. Come down to your hands and your knees here. And then we're going to move back to the very starting position where we kind of engage the core to come into that downward dog shape with that very exaggerated knee bend. So take a breath in. You're going to shift your weight forward. Let all the belly muscles and organs relax. As you exhale, have a feeling of those organs lifting. Keep that lift and engagement happening, and then press the back of the heels into your blanket roll. Start to shift or walk your hands back. With that knee bend still really deep, you're going to squeeze your block with your inner thighs and lift up to this chair pose. So your knees are bent, your hips are bent, and your torso is reaching out from the hip region. Extend your arms forward, and then you're going to draw the shoulders back. Keep engaging that brick or that block. Encourage your heels to kick out slightly. And then this is a feeling of internal rotation, which is where we want the leg position to be once we arrive at downward dog. As you inhale here, let the arms extend so that the head falls in the middle of the upper arms. And then with an exhale, with the knees still bent and engaging the brick, you're going to lower your hands to the ground. Walk the hands forward, still engaging the block. Lower the knees to the ground. I'm going to move through that 3 times together. At any stage, if this is too much, you can stop and rest in child's pose and join back in. As you inhale, belly softens, weight shifts forward. As you exhale, core engages to support that lift. Squeeze the block to encourage that internal rotation. Walk the hands back to meet the feet. Press the heels down firmly into your blanket roll. Squeeze the block as you continue to lift up into this kind of lightning bolt shape, and then extend the arms forward. Draw the shoulders back. Keep engaging the legs with the block. And then inhale, arms reach up. One more breath here. Squeeze the block, exhale, hands come forward, walk forward. Pause for one moment here. Take a moment to reposition your hands. So be aware of the shoulders as you dial your hands out. Be aware of the shoulder position as you dial your hands in. Point the index finger back to the top of your mat. Lower the knees all the way down. Two more. As you breathe in, body weight shifts forward. Belly relaxes. As you breathe out, abdomen lifts, internal organs lift. Shift the weight back. Squeeze your block. And then walk the hands all the way back. Continue to squeeze the block as you lift. The torso comes up. Extend the arms out in front of you. Draw the shoulders all the way back. And then inhale, lift and reach the fingertips towards the ceiling. Allow your head and your neck to relax. 3, 2, 1. Big audible sigh or exhale, let the body weight shift forward. Hands walk forward up the mat. Again, we'll play around with that hand position. Keep squeezing the inner thighs towards the block. Feel the position of the shoulders as they change as you dial your hands out. Dial the hands back in. Index fingers face towards the top of the mat. And then slowly shift and lower the weight and the knees towards the ground. Remove the block from the inner thighs. Press your big toes together. Take your knees wide apart and shift back to a very well-deserved child's pose. Take 3 to 4 cycles of breath here. Paying attention to the depth of your breath, to the quality of your breath. Gently lift your weight back up. Press your weight into one side of your hips. Swing your legs around in front of you. Take your blanket roll and place it just below the knees. Extend the legs out. Draw your toes back in towards your shin. Press out through your heel and just bring your hands, fingers pointing forward, just behind the line of your hips. Keep the legs engaged by pressing out through the heels. This is Dandasana or staff pose. Use the hands to create length in the spine. Tuck your chin in ever so slightly to that notch of the collarbones. As much as you can, draw the shoulders down and away from the ears, lengthening through the neck and the crown of the head. And we'll finish today's practice with a gentle twist. So bend your right knee. You might need to move or shift your towel. Inhale your left arm up And as you exhale, you're going to turn your chest towards your bent leg and either hook the arm around the knee, or you could even take the back of the elbow in towards the knee. Find a position that's comfortable for your head. Let's take one more breath together here. One more cycle, a complete and full inhale. Complete and full exhale. And at the end of the exhale, slowly start to unwind. Extend your right leg, bend your left leg, and then we'll move it straight to the other side. Inhale through the right fingertips. As you exhale, twist and hook the arm over the left knee. Keep that length in your spine. The end of your next exhale. Slowly release from that pose. You might like to keep your knees supported here. Coming to our back for our final Shavasana or yogi rest. Move your body to create comfort. Hands can either come to belly and chest or rest down alongside you. And then just be aware of the weight of your body and the imprint pressing into the mat and the space and the ground below you. Take a moment to be aware of the quality of your breath, including the texture of your breath, including the location of your breath, maybe the temperatures of your breath even. Gently scan your body from head to toe, letting your awareness stop where it needs to and make whatever movement or accommodations you need to allow yourself just to integrate, absorb, and notice how your body feels after that practice. In particular, your hands and your wrists. Your shoulders. Your abdominal or belly region. Your knees and your feet. always invite you to stay here for as long as you have available. Otherwise, add some gentle movement to your toes. Add some gentle movement to your fingers and maybe even your head and your neck. Draw your knees in towards your chest. And as you're ready, roll to one side. Use your arms to support you all the way back up. Rest your hands either at your heart or at the temple of your head. Soften your gaze and bow towards your heart and take a moment to acknowledge yourself, to acknowledge any intentions that you set for practice. And in acknowledging yourself, acknowledge the source that brought you here today. Offer it a big hug of gratitude. May all beings everywhere be happy, safe and free from my heart to your hearts. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. Number 2 of Downward Dog. I definitely, now that we've moved through our second series, I definitely encourage you to move back to practice 1 and integrate some of those principles that you've learnt today. I'm looking forward to seeing you for number 3 of Downward Facing Dog. Thank you once again for joining me. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe so you're notified about the next and ongoing tutorials. Once again, I'm Anita from Yoga on the Road. Namaste.